Did you call any of your peoples yet?
I don't have.
Everything's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Everything's okay.
It's crazy to me that we can all see the exact same video, yet have such different reactions to it. We've now seen various perspectives, and you really can't deny that the cop was hit by the car. And yes, you do see her turning away, but there's nothing that is stopping her from going in reverse and running him over, which is totally feasible for these people, because if she had actually ran over that ICE agent, the left would be celebrating. You guys celebrated the death, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. ICE agents have to be extra careful because of the left. They will harm them. ICE agents have to cover their faces because of the left. They will dox them. That man is in hiding right now because of the left. All of this could be avoided if the left just simply acted like they did during Obama, when ICE agents were deporting 3.1 million people. They did not care. Biden deported 250,000 people in 2024. They did not care. He used ICE. You can't just go from not caring at all to suddenly being like, I'm going to be a human barricade. It's so illogical and crazy. No wonder this guy was like, hey, this woman's going to hit me with her car.
Seeing a lot of confusion online to the conservative reaction to the video of the murder of Renee Good that was leaked earlier today. A lot of people saying, well, how could they have come to these conclusions? It's like they watched an entirely different video. And I think that the conservative take becomes a lot clearer when you realize that they don't care.
Well, as someone that is a free-thinking, conservative-leaning individual, let me respond.
That the video shows that the
shooting, not murder,
of Renee Good was absolutely not justified. That video could have shown anything, and it would not matter to them, because to the conservative, her murder was already justified.
Imagine thinking that you could speak for a whole voting base, a whole group of people that have a different ideology than you and know exactly what's going through their mind.
It was justified by the fact that she was liberal. It was justified by the fact that she was a woman.
Nope.
It was justified by the fact that she was gay.
Nobody cared she was gay.
And most importantly of all, it was justified by the fact that she was standing up to them.
Let me explain why we believe it's justified. And by the way, when we say justified, we don't mean celebrated. We don't even mean that she deserved it. We mean justified because of the fact she put herself in a bad situation. Her and her girlfriend were there to be an antagonist. And in the end, a last-minute decision that probably was made a little bit in haste when a vehicle was being driven at a law enforcement officer unfortunately led to her demise. We are not celebrating it. We are saying that there was a cause and effect to that situation.
And all other pieces of information, anything that could possibly come out, is going to be irrelevant to the conservative.
The irony behind that statement is, since the first release of information came out, the goalpost has been continuously moved by somebody like him. In the beginning, it was woman drops child off school, gets killed by ICE agent who she never hit. Now, each time something new comes out that she did hit him, that she was there for a while beforehand and planned on being there later, she was an antagonist. All of a sudden, none of those details matter.
Because they're just happy that the world has one less of those people.
Imagine saying that to a large amount of followers, what this guy has, because he used to create thirst trap videos to now creating far left political videos like this. To tell that to people creates hate and divide, us against them. A lot of the people on the right, like myself, or the right leaners, are just trying to have the conversation of, hey, can you see how this possibly could have happened and why it is justified in the eyes of the law and common sense, because a car was driving. But in the end, people like him just want to divide. They want to hear their voices in order to make it worse instead of bring us together. And that's what the media does. That is what most politicians left and right do. And that is exactly what's happening on his video.
Oh, so now you guys care about white women. Not the white women that were sexually assaulted and killed by illegals. Not the white woman that was stabbed in a train. Not the white woman that was burned to death by an illegal in New York. And you definitely didn't care about the white woman that was shot and killed on January 6th. Now all of a sudden you guys are crying and enraged and super sad.
You have a little peanut with you.
I do. This is Lola.
Lola, and why was it important for you to bring her?
Yes, please explain. And it better be good.
Just to feel the energy of love and community, and to show people that I'm not going to let someone else intimidate me to live in a city that doesn't represent what I want it to represent. I want to be able to bring her in a place where people are saying we love our neighbors.
First of all, nobody in their right mind would bring their baby to a protest. But we are talking about a liberal woman. So there's that. There's no right mind involved. Second of all, are you being honest with your daughter? Are you telling her, we love our neighbors, except if they're an ICE agent? In that case, sweetie, as you can see firsthand, we're marching through the streets, threatening their lives. We find them in their hotels and break the windows or threaten to burn the place down. And we post their faces and addresses online so that the threats to their life can follow them home and impact their entire family, including their kids. Don't be alarmed by the violence, sweetheart. That's our love language.
The reaction to the Minnesota tragedy today shows the worst of what our divided politics does to a country. Like, for most of our politicians and social media journalists nowadays, it's worthless to even hear them speak on issues like this, because you already know what they're going to say. Pretty much every single right-leaning person with a microphone saw all the evidence out of Minnesota and came to the immediate conclusion it was self-defense, while every single left-leaning person with a microphone watched the same exact videos and heard the same exact story and said it was murder. Now, beyond even talking about who's right or wrong, can we all just come to the conclusion that that type of thinking is just beyond shallow? Like, are we living in different realities, different worlds? Does the right-leaning brain perceive the world objectively different than the left-leaning brain? I mean, I'm not a neuroscientist, but I don't think so. We're all Americans. We're all humans. My eyes see the same vision you see, and my brain can understand the criminal statute of murder for self-defense the same as yours. But something, and I think we can all feel it, is seriously wrong with America today, whether it be the algorithms or just the divided nature of our national politics, whatever. Something is pushing too many of us towards extreme bias to where we only see the facts that advance our ideology. And when you have that on a massive scale, you lose the ability to even talk to each other because everyone's mind is already made up. There's no debate. There's just a battle of who can spread their ideology to more people. I just think a free thinker not captured by the biases of ideology looks at this tragedy in Minnesota today and first off is sobered by it. A mother of three lost her life in an instant, and no matter what, that in of itself is a tragedy. But beyond that, just fundamentally the line between self-defense and murder has always been a blurry one and a hard thing for all societies ever to define, as a lot of it depends on whether or not internally the shooter actually feared for his life or not, or whether or not that fear was reasonable. There's a reason why criminal verdicts aren't decided in hours, because these are hard questions and a lot of evidence we don't see yet likely exists. But because of the political state of our world, the divided state of our country, too many people only need one video and their mind is made up. We need to bring back some critical thinking.
As the New York Post states here, we're going to get into the article and read a bit here. It says, Good, who moved to the city last year, linked up with an anti-ICE activist through her 6-year-old son's woke charter school, which boasts that it, quote, puts social justice first, end quote, and prioritizes, quote, involving kids in political and social activism, end quote. So that's interesting. Quote, she was a warrior. She died doing what was right, end quote. A mother named Lisa, whose child attends the same school, told the Post at a growing vigil where Good was killed on Wednesday. And I believe this is her with her wife in this image here. It says, Good and her wife, Rebecca, 40, were raising the boy together in a mostly working class, activist heavy neighborhood of South Minneapolis, which features tree-lined streets and a large number of homes with windows decked out in LGBTQ plus flags or signs depicting George Floyd. So we're getting a little bit of background knowledge here. We, of course, yesterday spoke about the fact that she was intentionally at this ICE operation and was intentionally obstructing the roadway for these ICE agents with the intent of stopping them from doing their jobs, which is never something you want to do, especially with federal law enforcement. And of course, we recapped the footage that clearly shows her driving into the ICE agent and then subsequently being shot. And it seems as though she's had some training background, or at least some work in some activist groups, some organizer groups, which I'm quite familiar with, to sort of place her in this position, which is really not surprising at all, especially with what's happening on different school grounds here across the US these days. The left has infiltrated these spaces, and they're using them as a means of mobilizing people. And we've actually recently reacted to Sia Weaver, who is on Zohran Mamdani's team in New York City, talking about mobilizing people by getting into their school systems and utilizing the public schools as a weapon against the regime or the authoritarian government that they believe to be present in Trump's administration. So that seems to be a driving influence here. Now, we're also learning more about the ICE agent who ended up taking Renee's life. He was involved in an incident last year where he was actually dragged by a vehicle.
ICE arrest in the Twin Cities is leading to even more charges.
This home security video shows the driver taking off during a traffic stop, dragging a deportation officer with him. New at 10, WCCO's Uba Ali walks us through this video and the political firestorm behind it.
What began as a planned federal immigration arrest took a violent turn in this quiet Bloomington neighborhood. And it was all caught on camera. According to a federal complaint, agents were executing a warrant for 39-year-old Roberto Carlos Munoz. They say Munoz entered the country unlawfully, and he also pled guilty to fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct back in 2023 for abusing a minor. Tuesday morning, agents pulled him over. Court documents say he repeatedly refused to comply before a federal agent took out his spring-loaded window punch with his right hand and broke the driver's side rear window. These images show the officer's hand in the vehicle. In this video, you can see the driver take off with the agent hanging from the car, dragging him 300 feet through front yards.
Okay, so there you have that. I guess he's no stranger to...
Here's my take on the Minneapolis ICE shooting. Not from the standpoint of a politician or an activist, but through the lens of a 30-year career in law enforcement. I'm going to start by stating the obvious. I wasn't there. I haven't seen what happened before the video starts. That said, the more I watch it, the angrier I get. I spent 18 of my 22 years in the FBI as a firearms instructor. I didn't just teach agents how to shoot, I taught them when to shoot. One principle we hammered home was simple. Deadly force is never authorized merely to stop a fleeing suspect. Yes, if a vehicle is being used as a weapon, that changes the analysis, but nothing in this video supports that. If anything, it appeared the driver was just trying to avoid the agents altogether. Normally, I give law enforcement the benefit of the doubt when it comes to dealing with high-stress situations. But I can't do that here. At a minimum, this shooting reflects a failure of training and supervision. The deeper question, however, is whether law enforcement agencies are selecting and properly vetting people with the temperament and judgment required to make irreversible life and death decisions in seconds.
This is my impression of Minnesota over the course of the last 7 years.
Minnesota has elected Somali immigrant Ilhan Omar to Congress. She is perhaps most famous for her attempts to downplay 9/11 and has a net worth of around $60,000. Counterfeiter and fentanyl addict George Floyd died of asphyxiation today. The good people of Minneapolis responded in turn by burning down the city. Derek Chauvin, the police officer present at the scene of George Floyd's death, has been charged with murder. The good people of Minneapolis have rioted again. The amount of Somali immigrants in Minnesota has now reached over 70,000. In unrelated news, Democrats have gained full control of the Minnesota state government, and Governor Tim Walz has been reelected. Governor Tim Walz has now signed the Trans Refuge Law, which will give minors access to puberty blockers and hormone replacement therapy. Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris has selected Minnesota Governor Tim Walz to be her running mate. In the vice presidential debate between J.D. Vance and Tim Walz said, "I have become friends with, quote, school shooters." American YouTuber Nick Shirley has exposed that Somali immigrants in Minnesota have stolen billions of dollars from U.S. taxpayers. In other news, Somali Congresswoman Ilhan Omar's net worth is now $30 million. A Minneapolis woman was shot after trying to run over an ICE agent with her car.
8:30 this morning, I was just getting up and I heard a bunch of commotion and whistling outside, and then I heard bang, 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 3 shots. I went to go look out the window, and it looked like there's a Honda over there that crashed, and I found out it was an observer that got shot and killed, and I saw them carry it. I got a bunch of video of them carrying the body to an ambulance and stuff, so there's an observer that got shot at an ICE raid of the house next door.
I'm sure that was a scary thing to witness.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty right-leaning, but seeing this is not what you need to do. This is not how to do it. it's not how we're supposed to do things around here in America. So.
What was how many like agents and other people were here when that happened?
When it first started, there was maybe 20, but now there's hundreds. And then they got everybody out, so it's kind of crazy right now.
What's it been like seeing all of this?
Kind of scary. I lived during the riots in 2020, so it's kind of paralleling that right now. It's kind of same feeling. Hoping it doesn't, but it's getting a little rowdy.
Step back.
You'll never guess what she did. She rammed her car into a vehicle full of federal agents. And then it's being reported that she spit on them. This is all happening in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So I have a theory about that area because from what I've heard, the police just let them get away with everything. They let them do whatever they want and they kind of turn a blind eye. Allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly. So if that's the case, then that would explain why these people think they can just do whatever. And that's not how that works. If you don't want to end up in handcuffs or a worse outcome, maybe don't do stuff like this. I'm sure they'll try to spin it that she was totally innocent, didn't do anything. She's just like a mom from Minnesota. Okay, I just left the protest for Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis. We were marching from protest. They kept being like, everybody was like, oops, sorry. Oop, am I in your way? Oh, black ice. Oh, excuse me. Oh, no, you can go. You can go. Are you okay? And people were handing out food and water and hand warmers. Minnesota, I love you.
These are some of the men and women that ICE has arrested in the state of Minnesota. Look at who was roaming the streets in the sanctuary state of Minnesota. A Somalian illegal who was convicted of homicide. Another one that was convicted of 3 counts of homicide with deportation orders since June 2025. Homicide, 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 manslaughter, homicide, homicide with a vehicle, and DUI with deportation orders since 2022. And the left is like, abolish ICE.
I talked to an ICE field office director in Dallas yesterday and asked them, why do you wear masks? Do you not feel like the masks feel un-American because of what you point out? And he said that they have to wear the masks because people dox them and harass them and identify them if they don't.
That's what it means to be a public official. That's what it means to be a public official. If you take a position as a civil servant, you are a civil servant and you are held responsible by the people. There is no reason to disguise yourself.
And they're in unmarked tinted vehicles.
Tell you who they are.
Who they are. They have no identification. They provide no warrants. It's unconstitutional.
If you are so proud of what you were doing, and if you feel that what you are doing makes you a patriot, you should be willing to show your face while you're doing
like
that.
We are.
Yes. We are constantly doxxed and harassed by people, yet we continue to show our faces on the streets because we know that what we are doing is right, and we know that what we are doing is important, and will ultimately make the change that needs to happen.
Take me into the head of an ICE field agent right now. Why are they wearing masks?
They wear a mask for their protection. And it's not really just their protection, but the protection of their family. We all took an oath to serve this country and to enforce immigration laws. And that's all we're doing.
So you know Renee Good, the girl that got shot in the face by the ICE agent? Well, let me show you who her and the liberals were protecting the day that the ICE agents were just trying to do their job. This guy's name is Muhammad Abul Qadir Yusuf. And he's a Somalian illegal alien sex offender that lived in Minneapolis. He was previously convicted of first-degree criminal sexual assault for forcing his victim to give him oral sex multiple times back in 2016. He's also been arrested for first-degree assault, and he has an active warrant for obstructing justice in 2024. ICE says that they previously tried to arrest him, but the landlord of the building blocked him from getting to this sex offender. So they had to launch a targeted investigation to arrest this guy, and it costed the taxpayers more money. And this is who leftists are putting their lives on the line to protect. So next time you feel like taking your car and blocking off a street, make sure you're not blocking the arrest of a sex offender. And maybe next time you will go home alive.